You know, potential, that doesn't win you any games. All right, we have a lot of potential. We got to go out and do it. We have to be consistent. And I don't know who it's going to be. I don't know when it's going to be. And I tell them that every day. You don't know when we're going to come to you or call your number and you're going to be the guy to catch the ball. So we have a ton of potential, but Saturday will tell us a lot. You got to coach the details of it, the stances, the starts, the route running, the catching fundamentals. You got to coach it all. You can't take it for granted. You know, a kid might be a great high school player, but there's some things that he could be better at, and that's what we do. We coach the details of it and coach every little aspect to get out what we can. Yeah, I think so. Better than the spring. You know, kids are going to be kids. They're going to have a bad day here and there, and fall camp's a long haul. You know, it's not a sprint. It's a marathon. And so, yeah, for the most part, I'm happy with the consistency, but it always can be better. Great. Yeah, we're a tough group. I have some guys who've battled through some nicks and bruises and some injuries and things like that. So I'm not worried about the toughness. I'm not worried about a guy being courageous out on the field. That's least of my worries right now. Good. He's coming along very well. You know, he's a freshman, and he's doing great, and he's adapting tremendously, way better than I ever thought a freshman would, with, you know, the notoriety that he has and all that. But he's done great. He's a pleasure to be around. Intelligent kid, likable kid, and you guys know, you talk to him almost all the time. So he's a great guy. Yeah, it is. It's a great problem to have, especially with the running that we do and the routes that we run. It's always good to have fresh legs, and that's what we always talk about, is having guys with fresh legs, and that was what win you a game in the fourth quarter. I'd say maturity as a group, and I would say their vocal leadership. You know, I've had guys that, you know, they tell me Jarvis didn't say a word his first 4 years here. So, you know, he's a kid that he's talked, and he's been great in the meetings. And even Quentin, he's done a great job. And guys you wouldn't think have stepped up and have been coaching each other. And I tell them there's only one of me and there's a lot of you, and I can only be one field at a time, you know, one side of the field at a time, coach each other, help each other out. And I think they've really grown maturity, you know, maturity-wise. Yeah, a little bit. I found that out when I first got here, that they were teammates in high school, and they have a little connection as far as person to person. Now on the football field, you know, we have to get consistent reps with both of those guys and put them on the field together in a game situation. And I might be able to see something, but it's always nice to have kids from the same high school that know each other, and it meshes well.
He's a quiet leader, and there is such a thing, and it's accurate with him. He's not ever going to step up in front of the team and be a rah-rah guy. He is going to corner people in the locker room and in the weight room and have one-on-one conversations, and when he does, he's got great credibility because of that. Type of guy, when he speaks, you listen, because he doesn't speak that often, so when he does, you got something to say. Well, I've seen him drop more balls, so that's not a good thing. No. And that's concentration, that's mental toughness, and days when you're tired in training camp, which happens, you got to beat that with mental toughness. And we've had a couple of days where we haven't got that done. They're a group that runs well. They're a group, as we've often stated, is higher in numbers than we've been in the past, and hopefully we can take advantage of that and stay fresh as a receiving core and as an offense. Whether that allows us to wear anybody out because I don't know, but hopefully we can be fresh and fast throughout the entire game. A fresh Jarvis is very capable of accomplishing that, whether it be a return game or a reverse or whatever it is. He's slippery and he's hiccup quick, and we got to put him in more situations like that, then help him in finish blocks, like you're saying, and let him finish plays. Part of it is vision of defenders. Part of it is what you got to grab, what you got to hit, what you got to tackle. I always contested that was a big deal for Troy Davis. People couldn't see him. He'd hide behind a massive offensive line with that zone scheme, and he popped through and he was on you, and he had a pretty good one-cut move. And a lot of people struggle to get him at that point. I think Jarvis benefits from similar things.
I could say all of us have done our part as far as in fall camp and everything else, but as looking at the whole, everybody making plays, we have a great rotation, and also we have a lot of guys on the field that can make plays. So as far as us just getting out there making plays, as far as catching deep balls and a guy comes back tired or whatever the situation, we can pop another guy in, and the rotation just keeps going. We have about 3 or 4 receivers that could really go in the same position. So I mean, as far as depth-wise, we're pretty good at it. Yeah, it's a thrill. I can't wait. I'm really I'm anxious to get out there and ready to show what I've been holding in this whole past year and all through camp and everything else. All the time. I always go back and it feels like high school days. Me and him just throwing the ball, just catching and throwing. Some days we'll go out there and just catch just for the fun of it. I mean, even on the field, it's like a connection. Me and that guy, we've been through a lot. We played about 3 or 4 years together, so even on the field here, it feels the same. It was one of those things to where we kind of kept each other motivated. Sometimes it'd be getting hard for him, and sometimes it'd get hard for me. And what we really did was sometimes we sit down and just go over the plays, and he'd ask me trivia questions like, hey, if it was this play, what would you have? And I would ask him, I knew much about the reads or anything, but I would ask him, what reads do you have from in this play or whatever? And sometimes he struggled and sometimes he didn't. And then eventually he caught a hold onto it just as well as I caught a hold onto my route running and stuff like that. I feel like I progressed most as far as route running, as far as understanding coverages. It was something I struggled with as far as when I first got here, because at South Florida I was a freshman and I really didn't understand things, but when I got here I started breaking down the offenses and actually understanding where I'm supposed to be and what holes will be open and what coverages, and it kind of got a little easier for me.
I mean, as a receiver you have to know that you're not only going to catch the ball, but you have to block people, and that's part of your job as being on offense. It's very exciting, not only for me but for everybody, because we have a lot more freedom in our routes, and knowing that we can get into open space and not get in trouble for finding extra open windows and stuff. It's extremely hard for me because I thought I was having a pretty good season. Obviously, we on to a new season. I have to overcome that and do the best that I can do while I'm healthy.